hell trying to put them stuff on your camera?
Well, somebody, I mean, you recording?
I'm going to see commercials.
Oh, this one goes.
Good morning, good afternoon. I was the morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tika.
This music is feeling real nice.
Yeah, it is. That's David Peaston. Do You Still Love Me? By the way, for those that asked who that was.
I can't see you on there. You can't see me over there? Why do I need to get closer?
Get on in.
Well, maybe tilt that one. When you tilt it that way. Hey, guys. We're trying to get everything set up. You know how we do. We have to make sure everybody can see on both feeds and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We have tea. Let me see your tea.
You gotta have it. You got to have it. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Woo! Let me tell y'all, today's guest.
Oh, yeah.
I need to make sure. Give me thumbs up, tea drinkers. If y'all have y'all tea, y'all coffee, something to drink. I promise you, you will need something on today to drink. Trust me. I got mine. I'm already drinking. I ain't even asked the question yet. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I think we got all of the announcements out of the way. Hopefully you guys like the new format with that, because I didn't want to shortchange anyone with their flyers. A lot of the flyers are very convoluted. If you're going to send a flyer to us to actually physically read, you need to kind of break it down a little bit. What, when, where, and cost.
That's it. That's all we need. What, when, where, and the cost of it.
That's it. All that other stuff with the hotel. It's too much. So anyway, we decided to do it like this. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, like it that way better. Yes. So what's going on with you?
Oh man, just real quick, man. We're gonna hit this and I'll be done with it. You know, Tika. You know, I want the world to know first and foremost that, you know, I had a conversation with Drew, and I apologize to him because one thing we always vowed that we would do on this show is do everything in decency and in order. And unfortunately, I got out of order last week, and so my apologies to everyone. I've always spoke with him. We are good. If there's any one person in the game that I honestly do respect, Drew is definitely one of those people. And so with that being said, you all forgive me as well. Done deal.
So stop talking about it. Stop calling. Stop texting. Stop hitting them up at the set.
Yes.
Done. It's all love.
It's all love.
We definitely still want to talk about. Wait, I gotta start the show.
That's okay.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Tea with Tika and
co-host Will.
Today we have let's go ahead and do the prayer list first. We have Bree. Bree actually texted me and said, "Oh my God, Latika, thank you guys for doing that." So Bree, we continue to lift you up in prayer.
Yes.
Al, his birthday was recently, and they posted pictures of him. It was so amazing. That just made me warm my heart so much.
Absolutely.
Mr. Byers, Marvin, I heard he's doing a whole lot better. So praise God for that.
Yes.
Kim.
Yes.
Girl, they know how to give a party for Miss Kim Davis. We had a ball last weekend. Y'all need to do that again. Hint, hint. Anybody else you have that you want to put on?
Oh man, let's continue to keep, you know, unfortunately the guys spoke about last year. Let's keep Sam and his family. Sylvia, what's her name? Let's continue to keep that family in prayer.
Definitely.
And everything. I think that's about, you know, hey man, forget about them. Let's keep everybody in prayer. Because
we all need it.
We need it. You know, we need it. So let's keep each other in prayer. Life is good.
You know what? Life is really, really good. When you really look at it, it's okay. Whatever you dealt with this week, guess what? You're still here.
Absolutely.
You got some good music.
Yes.
You tuning in to Talking Tea with Tika and
co-host
baby, ain't nothing wrong with your life, baby. Trust
That's
me.
right.
We ready to make it even better. We gotta take it to another level.
Yes.
Go ahead and call, honey.
Right, let's go and make this call.
Just a minute. Let me. Ooh, I asked him, did he have this tea? He said, no, I have coffee with, what's it, Irish cream creamer.
We might have to turn this music down so we can hear him, and so we're going to make sure we don't miss anything.
Top of the afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tall Rick. How are you?
I'm blessed.
How about that? We are well. We are live. Guys, give me thumbs up if you can hear Tall Rick. Now, Tall Rick, I know you're not on Facebook, so you may not know the format when people call in, but I typically have people to sing.
All right.
So, you want to hit a hymn or?
No.
I love it. Can you guys hear Tall Rick? Let me get some thumbs up if you guys can hear Tall pretty well. Keep talking a little bit. I want to make sure they can hear you.
Okay. Before we begin, I would like to pay homage to two fallen soldiers of the Steppers game that we lost last month. One in Herbert Rogers Kent, a DJ of over 70 years, as well as true Steppers icon of over 40 years, and John B.A. Mosley.
Wow.
May they both rest in heaven.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for those. We're going to go ahead and start the show. We're going to go ahead and get the legal stuff out of the way, but before we do so, we have to put our shades on.
Yes.
Where are your shades?
See, I didn't put the shades on because we had a serious moment in the beginning, and every moment.
Did you have? Okay, Rick just slurped.
We had a couple of serious moments.
I mean, well, I'll put. You know what? I can't. Well, I'll put mine on. Y'all know I'm having these on, so I'm just saying.
So I just want people to see you. People say they can't understand if they don't see your eyes. I want them to see my eyes.
Well, okay. So go ahead and read the disclaimer, please.
The views and opinions expressed on this show are solely those of the guests, viewers, and other contributors. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of Talking Tea with Tika and co-host Will, its staff, or any contributors to this show.
I'm just saying. Did you hear that, Rick?
I did.
So basically what that's saying, let me just make sure I break that down. Whatever you say.
Yeah, it's mine.
I was going to say I was going to agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is yours.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is live. So once you've said it, it's said.
All right.
I mean, they can call you. Tell them not to call me because I didn't say it. Rick said it.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
But we're going to go ahead and get this thing. So he said exactly. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. First of all, thank you so much on behalf of myself, Will, the staff. We appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Now, I'm just going to go right on in.
All right.
How tall are you?
6'6", 78 inches. Huh?
He said
6 foot 6 inches equated to 78 inches.
All
I
right.
don't think most people know how many inches they are. I don't, okay. Thank you. And then let me ask you this. Do you sweat? I mean, are your sweat glands working properly? Have you had them checked?
I sweat profusely, to be quite honest, to the point that sometimes I'm dancing so hard, I'm so into it, that my jacket looks as if it's been dipped in water.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, really. Seriously.
I never see, because I'm just going to say, last Saturday when you were in Atlanta, I hate that you couldn't get here earlier to be on the show with Drew. That would have been, oh my God, it would have been so fun. But you had on, I think this is what you had on. You had on a shirt, okay, I'm sure you had on a t-shirt, a regular shirt. It looks like you had on the pullover. A vest, a jacket.
Ascot. Yes. It all. Yeah. You got it right.
And you were sweating?
Yes, I was, but I got something from the Duluth company where it's supposed to absorb a certain amount of sweat so that it does not show through your clothes.
Oh, now you know what? That's some information. I hope y'all heard that. Because some of these men, their shirt look a different color.
Yeah.
Like it was like white, but it's like beige by the time they
Beige, yeah.
Honestly. So that's a good, see, Tall Rick, he sweats, guys. Because I was concerned. I'm like, I don't think Tall Rick sweats. I don't think Tall Rick sweats.
We have a question.
Yes, I do.
So we have a question already before I can even ask you one. Well, I've asked you two, but go ahead. I guess we'll go ahead and ask.
Do you ever take your jacket off during a dance?
Ooh.
I do not, ever. That is a no-go. That is a thumbs down. I do not.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. So let me ask you. Now, do you ever find it hard because your height of 6'6"? Do you ever find it difficult to dance with shorter women, like women that are maybe 5'1", 5'2"?
No. One of my favorite dance partners, formerly of Chicago, Illinois, currently of Phoenix, Arizona, is Angie Fan.
Oh.
And she was one of my idols that I watched for a long time, so that when I finally got into the Steppers game, I made sure that I danced with her. And it's effortless. It's not a lot of work involved as it pertains to my height versus her height. The biggest thing that I like to do, though, when we are dancing now, because we have a great relationship, is that I like to get down on my knees and dance with her for about maybe a good 20 to 30 seconds, and people pull out their camera phones and they start videoing. It's just me being me, silly with somebody that I love and admire. It is no disrespect to her or anyone short. It's just that I like to play sometimes when I'm dancing with those people that have paved the way for me.
Right.
So the dance is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you segued into that. I had to take a sip.
I heard you sipping.
I had to take a sip.
I heard you.
Excuse me.
No problem. So the dance is supposed to be fun.
So this fun thing, we about to get deep now. This fun thing I have somewhat of a problem with. So in answer to your question, that particular part, yes, is fun, but I've arrived.
Oh.
Okay, let me say that again. The fun part in what I was just explaining is just that, fun, after I've arrived. So it wasn't all that fun going through the process of learning this dance. But learning, it's a huge misconception as it pertains to this dance. People think that they go to a few classes and they got the steps and then they've arrived. It's a long and tedious process to earn your way on the dance. So if you take the L off of learn, you have earned. And once you've earned your place on the floor, then the fun can begin. The real fun can begin. Y'all still there?
That's good stuff right
I guess I am segueing a little bit off of some of the conversations that have been said about a lot of people just do this dance just to have fun. They're not interested in being the best. They're not interested in competing. They just want to have fun. It's something that they do on the weekends. It's the couple go out. They're not interested in all of that.
Get out to be able to socialize and just
want to get out. So
get out the house.
What do you say to that person?
Right. Stick with your secular. Stick with your hip hop. If you want to have fun, go to a concert. If you want to have fun like that. If you want to be social, go to your social gatherings or clubs that really promote socialism in that way. This dance has a structure that must be maintained. And I'm very stern in my voice, and I have conviction when I say it, because I am a true Chicagoan that was born and bred with stepping in mind, meaning my mom and dad were steppers. From the lower end. My uncles and aunties were steppers. Now, when I get into somewhat of the history of this dance, again, this is what I've been exposed to, what I've experienced. What I know is that when my mom and dad were in high school at Dunbar Career Academy, back then it was Dunbar High School, they had what was known as sock hops, okay? And basement parties. This was back in the late 50s, early 60s. And you had different high schools, like Billups, Dunbar, I think Hirsch was one. You had a multitude of schools that shared in the sock hop experience. And they were bopping back then, which is still today known as stepping, but they were bopping back then. And yeah, it was fun, and they, it was all in the spirit of, festive nature and getting to know one another and flirtation and all that.
Socializing.
But still, you had to know your steps. You had to know your position on the floor. And space control was
That's huge right there.
A big deal in Chicago, because if you didn't maintain order on the floor or etiquette on the floor, you're liable to get your you-know-what kicked.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's how we get down in the shot. I'm keeping it 100.
And I need you to do that.
So, therefore, when you go to Chicago, or even a Midwestern city, Detroit, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and of course Chicago, you will find that most of those parties are crowded. They're crowded. So you have to have a certain level of respect for the floor that you cannot do half or even 3/4 of the things that people are doing outside of the Midwest.
So let me ask you a question. So let me ask you a question right there. So now in today, most time, you know, there's still some fights going off and on, but how do you handle it now when you run into those steppers, guys, females that don't understand or not maintaining the lane control or the floor etiquette? How do you handle that now?
I get out the way because I don't want to have to fight.
Right.
I didn't come out to fight.
Right.
So, but that is in me to fight if I need to. Because that is what I've seen. That's what I've been exposed to.
Right.
That if someone steps on another person's shoes, male or female alike,
right,
and they don't acknowledge that they stepped on their shoes or accidentally bumped them, all it takes is maybe a word or two to say I'm sorry,
right,
a friendly gesture,
yes,
a pat or something. You don't do that. In the Chicagoland area, depending on the person, oh yeah, it's going down.
Right.
Wow.
You know, and that's a pet peeve of mine. I'm so glad you brought that up because that is a huge pet peeve of mine out on that dance floor. It's like, you know, guys, you know, first of all, we lead the dance. And so it's our responsibility to help maintain, keep that female tight if the floor is crowded. And yet they still trying to, you know, so I do what you do. I just get out the way. I say, you know what? You know, first of all, to come out there, you're not about to do a whole lot anyway, and you still just try to crowd your way, instead of going with the flow of traffic, you just jump in anywhere. And man, that is a huge pet peeve of mine on that floor.
Yeah, it can be very detrimental when you're getting on the floor a minute to a minute and a half after the song has started and people have already laid claim to their small space on the floor. And here you come as a straggler. Straggle your butt on the floor, not saying excuse me, not giving a gesture to say can I squeeze anything.
Exactly.
Your arrogance after coming on the floor a minute to a minute and a half later speaks volumes.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're on this day because you know at least now I feel like, because first of all, you know, I felt like I was being mean. You know, it's like, man, dude, I know it's no room. Yes, you know what? Go ahead. You can have my spot. I'm just going to get over here.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, I'm so glad. I thought it was only me feeling like that when it comes to it. I'm like, God, really?
So the etiquette is what? How much time do you have to get to the floor once the song starts?
Etiquette, as far as I'm concerned, is when you hear the first few bars of the song, you should know exactly what it is. And if that is your song or her song, or you all song as a couple, you need to break away to the floor.
Yes.
You know, and get in where you fit in.
Man.
It's about etiquette. Etiquette is what? Social grace.
Yes.
Considering those outside of yourself. Because we all come out to have a good time.
Absolutely.
And yes, fun is an element of it, but it's a small element. Because guess what? If you are a beginner, or a novice, or an intermediate skilled dancer, you are still in the learning phases.
Yes.
So you still haven't really earned your way on that floor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Now, okay, he said, Now, let's talk about this earn, because, like, is that something like how do you sign up to be earned? Like, what do you got to do? Like, you got to be in the 10 years, 15 years? Because I've seen some people been dancing for a mighty long time. And I don't think they have their diploma yet.
Exactly.
So who
So there's no amount of time. There's an amount of the experience. So take in the case of those from Chicago or those from the Midwest, they may have their cream of the crop at their disposal, as opposed to a West Coast, as opposed to an East Coast, as opposed to the Southern Hemisphere. They may not have that. So it may take those people on the ladder a bit longer to get in where they fit in. But guess what? Practice makes progress.
Ooh.
Yes.
You can never perfect this dance, but practice makes progress. And as long as you continue to have the mindset that I want to get better, I want to learn this dance so that I can feel comfortable enough to feel good in this dance, to have the fun that they talk about having, then continue to practice.
Right.
It's imperative for your growth.
Let's stay there for a second. What if you've been taught a way that is not particularly, I hate to say right, but let's just say the Chicago way. But you've been practicing that way for 10 years. But then you'll get with someone that does it the Chicago way or native, and they'll say, what is that? And you've been doing it that way for 10 years. You have perfected it.
Mm-hmm.
What about those folks? I mean, how is that fair to say, I have been practicing, but this is what I've been practicing. And then, like I said, when they get with someone like you or whoever, and they say, well, wait a minute, where did that foot pattern come from? Why are you so fast? Why are you bundling? Why are you this, that, and the other? How do we fix that? Because that's what's happening.
I am of the minority. Let me say that. The majority of your quote-unquote either old schoolers or hierarchy or the ones that are from Chicago that are criticizing what is going on now are the minority. And the majority is that of the commercialized dance that we have in front of us. Let me say this. Just as Muslims have somewhat of an obligation to make the pilgrimage to the Mecca, just as Catholicism and Catholics have somewhat of an obligation to make the pilgrimage to the Vatican in Rome, I think that steppers should have a certain sense of obligation to make the pilgrimage to Chicago. That would eliminate at least half of the discrepancies that we currently have in this game that we know it to be stepping. Okay? Now, even when you go to Chicago, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the cream of the crop, because it's depending on where you go.
Right.
Right.
Who you connected with.
Right.
So if you go during the competing time or the contest time, you ain't gonna get the cream, because Chicago don't really fool with the contest like that no more. Because now it's saturated with so many out of towners that Chicago fall back.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, this is what you gonna do.
I know, but it was just the way but I felt some kind of way when you said it like that. I mean.
Yeah, I got to give it to you in the raw.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question.
We have a question.
A statement.
A statement.
Buford Collins says, we are too subjective about who is good and not good at dancing. We don't correct poor grammar or poor manners as much as we have an opinion about who can dance or not.
Okay. So is that a question or a comment?
That was a statement. It was just a statement from Buford Collins.
Okay.
I mean, next.
Okay, quick question for you. I know you said that you started with your parents. So how long have you actually been in the game?
Over 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been actually 20 years. So I was actually faking it to make it in '95 for my 25th birthday. I was faking it to make it, and I was going to the contest, the world's largest steppers contest since '93. So when it comes to the contest and what it has materialized to now, the edification of this dance, as far as I'm concerned, is suffering. And so for me, I have the bullhorn a lot of times when it comes to my criticism of the dance, whether it's women wearing combat boots or guys not moving their feet or a combination of the two. I got a lot of things to say about this dance.
Lord, we got.
So let me ask you a question then.
Lord,
so if let's say if you were in charge, what rules would you set as far as, since you mentioned combat boots or certain wear, what rules would you set that's mandatory for the contestants to do?
Fundamentals.
And I'm talking and dress and all of that. Let's talk about that since we did.
Okay, fundamentally, we are flawed in the stepping game as it appears in 2016.
Okay.
Fundamentally, we are flawed in this game. Now, as it pertains to how women's supposed to dress, that's something that, from my opinion, I am a classic, truly traditional person. So I'm hard. I'm crucial when it comes to style and dress as pertains to stepping. Because there's no way in hell that you can tell me, and I can't tell this to my wife. There's no way in hell that you can tell me that you, as a woman, got on a man's shoe and combat boots, getting yourself prepared for war. This is military attire. You got on combat boots for, I guess, the durability and the sustainability of your ankles and knees. I get all of that. But women, y'all got some bad banging ass shoes. And you put that to the side for some combat boots with a dress?
Oh,
really?
help us.
For the gentlemen. Gentlemen want to come out in their t-shirts and their jeans and their kits. In my day, as today's day, I really feel that on a Saturday, every man should have on at least a sports jacket and some slacks.
Wow.
Mandatory.
Wow.
I like that.
You don't have to have on a collared shirt. You don't have to have cufflinks. No, that's how I get out. You ain't got to get out like I get out.
Right.
Because you get down, Rick. I'm
As
just
a
let you know that.
standard, thank you.
No problem.
But as a standard, on a Saturday event night, women should have on dresses. If she wants to have on some slacks, that's fine. She should have on heels. Okay, she may not be able to wear heels. Her ankles may not support that.
Right.
Have on a shoe that's not a sock wrapped around a gym shoe. Then you want to say, I'm about ready to dance. Come on to the dance floor with me. Yeah.
Come on, Rick.
Yeah.
Come
I'm
on
not
with
trying to
it.
hear that.
Come on with
I'm
it.
not trying to hear that. Our feet are damn near looking identical. I'm a man.
Right.
Give me a minute. I need.
Yeah, but this is good stuff.
I'm
Rick, you're
sipping.
talking.
Hold on. I'm sipping. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
No, this is good stuff because I've always questioned that, because you like me, I believe that I don't wear heels and we don't need them, so I understand the fact that some women just either don't care for them or can't wear them.
Right.
But it still be just something about how you carry yourself. Let me just say this here. I've seen women and stuff. My woman said, "Baby, you better not even think about putting that on."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have no problem looking at it because there's some things my girl just ain't gonna walk out of this house with on.
I'm not gonna allow it.
Exactly. It doesn't go. It doesn't set well no, I ain't gonna go here. But yeah, the bottom line is,
yeah, I get you.
You with me? I'm like, no. And likewise, she's not gonna let me go out of the house with anything on.
Well, let me ask you. So, what is the term "steppers sharp"?
I think the term "stepper sharp," which came into fruition through Chicago sets, and there's a difference between a set and an event and conventions, but that's a whole nother topic.
Right.
That I don't really want to broach right now.
Oh.
But as it pertains to set, stepper sharp is just that. You can come with a tailor-made suit, or you can come with a Brooks Brothers suit. Take your pick, but come sharp and ready to dance because we're going to light up the floor in all our glitz and glamour. That's what it's about.
Yes.
It's about being sharp as a tack. Whatever that interpretation is for you, but I can guarantee you, whether you're from the west side or the south side of Chicago, whether you're from Seattle, Washington, Miami, Florida, New York, or Memphis, Tennessee, stepper sharp ain't a t-shirt and jeans. Stepper sharp ain't some jeans on a female with combat boots or a sock over the shoe. I can guarantee you that.
So
That ain't stepper sharp.
Is there ever an opportunity in your opinion that a woman can wear a jean and a comeback boot on stepping?
I guess because of how these events are taking place out of town from Thursday to Sunday's brunch, I would say leave that for the Sunday brunch when you wind them down. Don't bring that at the start of your event weekend.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Now, with your wife, Miss D, would she ever wear jeans and a comeback boot at the farewell?
To my knowledge, absolutely not. Now, if she hiding something up in the attic, and we ain't been to the stove in that city, then by all means, I'm not going to leave her at home, you know. But she knows my position on it. She knows that I have true conviction regarding steppers attire.
Let me, speaking of D, your beautiful wife, she's a beautiful dancer. No problem. You did well. She's a beautiful dancer. Did you teach her?
No, I had no. I may have had some influence as it pertained to who to go to in Cheryl Poe or Sharni Simmons or others that she may have taken a private with, both male and female alike, like Drew. But we don't even dance around the house. See, I like real time, real stuff in the moment. You know, all practice. I did that back in the 90s, where I called myself practicing by myself or with my partner. And what I found out was, when practicing with a partner, you have a tendency to anticipate on one side or the other.
Yes.
So when the anticipation comes in, I can mess around. You can have a contusion in your shoulder messing with me.
You know what?
Because just what happens, so what you're saying is, just say if you practice all the time with this person, you're dancing with them, maybe one of those moments you feel like, man, you get this dance hit you, you get this feeling, and they assume that you about to go a certain way.
That's right. Because you're setting it up in the way in their mind like you typically do.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you're talking about practicing in partners. Let's go back to the world's largest just for a little bit.
All right.
Now, you've never competed.
I have not.
Okay. But you judge.
I have.
So
on more than one occasion in the world's largest.
So let me ask you this. What gives you the right to be able to judge a competition that you've never done because you don't compete? I mean...
Right. So from my standpoint, number one, because Pete, being the head of the contest, asked me. And so because I got so much love, honor, and respect to Pete Frazier, I relented, even against my better judgment, because I knew that this would come up. How is he up there judging me, who has been in the contest for, X amount of years, and he ain't never did this, that, and the other, walked away. Okay, fine. But I'm still a Chicagoan. And the lineage of this dance, I can critique it just like others do that may not have as much as I have in the dance, and yet they up there judging. So I said, hey, let me get a crack at it. I have a go at it.
Would you ever compete? You still wouldn't do it?
Absolutely not.
So then it's because you were scared to compete, or you just like, hey, I'm not into that because that's not who I am?
The latter.
I'm
not into the competition side of it because that has never been who I was, even though each of the three instructors that I've gone through have tried to somewhat nudge me in the direction of getting on that stage, one being in Daryl Davis, two being in L.C. Henderson, and three being in Tony Dow.
Okay.
Those are the three instructors that I have been under the tutelage of. And they all three have tried to nudge me in that direction, and I had to respectfully decline because that is just not who I am.
Here's an off-course question. Now, did you play basketball, being that you are 6'6"?
I used to play a little bit, but my knees in Chicago it's pretty hard to play basketball in the gym. So then you have to revert to outdoors, and outdoors meaning concrete. That has a lot to do with the health and sustainability of your needs or the lack thereof.
Right.
So when you running up and down that concrete court, fast breaking and all that dunking and coming down, you know, with all that weight and momentum, yeah, it takes a toll on you.
Yeah, because back in the day, I look forward to seeing guys like you come on the court 6'6", because I was
because
gonna dunk on y'all.
Yeah, they want to dunk on me.
I'm gonna dunk on. I'm gonna dunk. Dunk on you.
Oh, you know how to dunk? Oh, wait a minute, we missed that. That was important. You know how to dunk?
He's 6'6". He better know how. But I'm 6'2". I look forward. I used to wait for him to try to block. I'm gonna dunk on him. Just like look at him and say, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what it's all about.
Anyway.
About your weight, you can have it.
Now, you roller skate too, right?
Oh, yeah, I roller skate.
Wow.
Here's something you wrote. I'm gonna segue back to where we was at. I know you wrote about a nice little thing with Shot Steppers with my man T. Pratt. And I know you had mentioned, you know, about the guys, you know, ebbing, flowing, bundling, you know, going back and forth and everything, or rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I guess the question I have about that is that the only reason we know that beyond Chicago, because we know Chicago, you all never done that.
Right, just like we weren't taught on numbers.
Right, y'all did all the steps.
Until 2004, until it became very popular with the Stepping in the Name of Love video came out.
Right. But see now, how do you suppose that got, and like you said, beyond the Midwest, everywhere's West Coast, Southern Hemisphere, how do you think all that got down to us this way?
Easy, I can explain it.
Okay.
So my interpretation and knowledge of that was it was needed desperately because the masses outside of Chicago, and particularly outside of the Midwest, they wanted it right now. And so how do you teach the masses? You teach them, number one, with the count, and number two, because there's more women than men, we want the men to sustain themselves in this dance.
Okay.
We don't want them to run away. You know, a lot of guys don't have the rhythm, they didn't have the flow, they didn't have the chemistry, they didn't have the nothing. The cool, the swag, the chip on their shoulder that you need, so they get frustrated, they get discouraged, they leave.
Okay.
We wanted them to stay.
Gotcha.
So I tell you what, instead of the 8 steps, just do 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Just do 3. Now, me personally,
there we go.
When I started in 2009 teaching, because I vowed, just like with competing, never to teach, but it took Melanie Fields of GEI to have a talk with me and said, you need to give back. And that's what I did. I said, okay, I'm going to give back. You're right. I didn't argue it. I didn't refute it. I'm going to give back. And when I started teaching, I made these guys move their feet. But I would lose a lot of the guys because they don't want to move their feet. They want moves and not movement. And the reason for and the purpose of moving your feet on the lead side, on the guy's side, is for timing. It's for proper foot placement, proper body placement, angling your body, flow, tempo. All that goes into why you move those feet.
Yes. So you would never teach the guys, you know, even if the result of keeping them.
Right now.
You ain't even got to try to figure out how to word it. No. Now, Rick, let's be fair. When I see you dance, there are times that if you're looking at it at the naked eye, it looks like you're just barely moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping it because I done got older and my knees hurt, my feet may hurt. And the song may allow me to cheat a lot of what I'm doing. That's not to say that I can't do it. See, you first have to move your feet, your lower torso down, to get into the groove or the rhythm of the music. Then, of course, you have to then coordinate your upper body with your lower body. Once you've got both parts coordinated to a science, to a T, almost to a perfection, where it's second nature, muscle memory kicks in, and boom, you've got it. But that takes time.
Right.
You have to continue to move your feet. And even today, after 20 years, I move my feet. Now, it may not be on every song, it may not be with every partner, but I still move my feet.
Now, you are one of the masters, in my opinion, of interpreting a song. I have seen you do a whole drum solo with your feet. I don't even know how do you teach someone musicality? How do you teach them to dance to the music and to get away from the count?
Yeah, that's pretty difficult because, you know, they're so hell-bent on holding those numbers. That's their crutch. Both male and female alike. The numbers are the crutch. That should only be the initiator, the startup, because eventually you have to start to take the numbers away and creativity comes in. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am. First of all, I used to play drums in church. Long time ago, as a kid. Bongos, drums, cymbals, all that. Percussion, that was me. So now that I'm an adult, I still hold true to traditional stuff. So like the movies that I watch, I can watch Turner Classic Movies all weekend and don't skip a beat. Same thing with music. I like classic music, not classical, but classic music. I like music that has not only a beat, but I like strings. I like the brass. I like instrumentation, musicality. I like vocal arrangement. I like to see how the song breaks into a chorus and comes out only to go back in. I like how the song tells a story. We barely have songs like that anymore.
That's true.
So that's why
that's very true.
For me, I like to go back to my classic R&B or classic movies. You know, I like tradition.
So, okay. So how do you...
then teaching the musicality side, when it comes to stepping, I try to get away from the beat. I start with something slow. I don't teach anyone to dance on fast. Because just like with a fast-moving car, going 90 miles per hour, try to stop it on a dime.
Ain't gonna happen.
It's harder.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to go from slow to fast than it is to go from fast to slow. So I teach, when I do teach, which is rare, when I teach, it's slow, maybe some mid-tempo, but definitely slow. Because people, they have a tendency to want to go fast, to want to have, you know, the rah-rah, sis-boom-bomb, you know, the beat. I gotta get these moves. I gotta get they want everything right now.
Right.
This is a slow, tedious process. You have to learn to listen to the music. I want you to listen to the cymbals. I want you to listen to the strings, because a beat can be in a string or a cymbal, not just the bass.
Very true.
Not just the snare. It can be in something totally different.
But you know, Rick, you know what's funny? You say that, but you have to be someone, honestly, something like that comes easy for, like me, I used to, you know, play drums and direct a choir. And so things like that, you hear all of it, because as a choir director, you have to hear everything that's going on. You have to be able to conduct everything that's happening. So for someone like you and myself, things like that comes very easy. How do you teach that to someone who's never been in either high school band or a marching band or anything like that?
Giving them exposure to it.
Okay.
That's where it starts. It's the exposure. They have to be exposed to songs other than hip hop, other than remixes for 12 minutes.
Right.
They need to be exposed to the whispers, the stylistics, the dramatics, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, Shaka Khan. They need to be exposed to classic R&B. So
how do you, let me ask you a question here then. So how do you segue from the old school versus those of us who might be in the new school? How do you segue or bring that into one harmony?
You can bring so many different music. You know, from my standpoint, when I was learning, it was classic R&B,
Okay.
that was up to date, and jazz. That's what we were dancing to in my day. Now it's hip hop.
Right.
So when you say, how do you segue? I can still dance to hip hop, but I don't feel it because that's not my forte. That's not my niche.
Right.
But then if it is your niche, then I say practice to what it is that you enjoy.
Right.
And allow your creativity to eventually take form. Because all it is in this dance is personality. I walk different from my car than Tika does.
Right.
Tika walks different from her car than Will does. Will walks different from his car than Devan Poe does. Devan Poe walks different from his car to Cheryl Poe.
Right.
We all have a different walk.
Correct.
It's 8 steps. But your shoulder movement, your pelvic movement, the way you place your feet on the ground are different from any other person that's doing stepping. So then you have to then break that down into allowing your personality to shine once you get the 8 steps.
Yes.
And I'm not saying throwing in the tango or ballroom and infusing all these different dances to make yourself comfortable and saying, well, this is what I know best, this is what I'm comfortable with, so I'm going to throw this in there too, and that's my creative side. No, because you can't do, salsa will not allow you to infuse. Ballroom, to my knowledge, will not allow you to infuse stepping, to my knowledge, because I'm not a ballroom, so I don't know. You know, merengue, the cha-cha, the mambo, the tango, they will not allow you to infuse stepping in their dance. How dare you? So then why is it that we then want to infuse so many of the dances that we know around this country into stepping?
Yes. So then do you do any other dance outside of stepping? I think you mentioned bopping early. Do you bop or no?
I can bop, but no. But let me say this. If I were to learn another dance, it would be salsa because I love the music.
Right.
The reason why I got into stepping, it wasn't because of my mom and dad. It wasn't because of my uncles and aunties. It was because of the music. It was because Battle of the Bands in Chicago, Herb Kent, on a Sunday, would host a show on Sundays after church time. You could turn to B103 and listen to Herb Kent for a few hours with Battle of the Bands. So for me, Monday through Sunday, music was always being played in a way that I wanted to learn to step to.
Good
so
instrumentation.
you can make the conversion from skating to stepping and stepping to skate. You can make the conversion because Chicago always has had its own flair. In skating, Chicago don't skate like nobody but Chicago.
Right.
In stepping, Chicago steppers typically don't step like nobody but Chicago. You can make the conversion because of the music, because the music is the foundation for everything that you do.
That's correct.
Go ahead.
Okay, we have a question for you.
Okay. With that being said, Mr. Buford Collins wants us to ask you, what community in their entirety outside of Chicago does the dance the most correct?
So read that again.
What community in their entirety outside of Chicago does the dance the most correct?
The most correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand that, Rick?
I did.
Okay.
And I really can't answer that because I'm not in their city. I don't live in their city. I've lived in Chicago for over 40 years. So when I see steppers, I don't know where they're from most times. And when I do know where they're from, I give them, a pat on the back, a word of encouragement here and there. But even in critiquing, the most times that I critique is particularly in class when you're coming to learn.
Right.
See, when a person has felt as though they already have it, they lost.
That's a true statement.
They have to take it upon themselves to say, you know what, I really don't have this. It ain't for me to say, bruh, man, you need to go back to the drawing board. It ain't for me to say, young lady, I'm sorry. You know what, we're going to have to stop this dance because you ain't got it. that ain't my place.
Right.
Right. So you saying you don't teach on the dance floor?
I have authority.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. So what you said just now?
I said, when I'm in class, when I'm teaching the class, I have the authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Speaking of teaching, you moved from Chicago to Charlotte?
To Raleigh.
To Raleigh.
So I moved from the shot to the ride, is what I call it.
Oh, wow.
Shot to the ride.
Shot to the ride. Do you teach? Do you have a class in the ride?
No, because when I first came here in 2011, I tried to give myself purposely for the love of stepping to Raleigh. What I found was that most of the men, I can't speak for the ladies, most of the men did not want to move their feet. And so it kind of rocked me a little bit because they said they wanted it, but they wanted moves and not the movement.
Wow.
Which then, it sets up moves. Your movement sets up moves.
Oh, that's good.
You can get a move from anywhere.
That's true.
But that movement,
Ooh,
you got to have that.
I'm
because that's where your flow comes in. And your flow equates to chemistry with your partner. And that's where the art of it lies.
Yes.
See, people want the entertainment side. I don't mind the entertainment if you got the art.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't give me no Universal Circus.
Did you hold the soul? Did you say Universal Circus?
Yes, Universal Circus. Trapeze act.
Now,
that's good stuff, because you know what's so funny? Is Tariq, it was when I first started this dance, and it was so amazing, is that what's sad is I was all into the moves without the movement. But then over time I learned that, man, you know what? The moves seem so much better when you have movement. And in fact, what's so funny is I'm now, if someone asks me to recreate something, I'm looking and say, I probably don't know what I just did simply because I was.
That's the beauty.
Okay.
You're in it. Now, let me segue back to what I said about Raleigh and what I'm not teaching. I have a few guys that we as men make the pilgrimage to Chicago, and I try to make sure that as me being a current resident of Raleigh, I've got a few homies, as I call them, that I like to take the trip to the shop.
Right.
And we go to the 50, and, we go to different places, and, we food, fun, fellowship. The camaraderie is there. So, like in the person of Sharvin Whitty, he got this dance.
Yeah, Sharvin, yes.
Sharvin got this dance.
Yes.
If you look at his movement, and he got moves.
Yes, he does.
But pay attention to his movement. That's something that when I first met him and he took a private with me, him and Roz, back in 2009, I told him specifically, bruh, you put on an excellent performance with moves. When you gonna start dancing, bro?
Yeah.
And he took it personal. But that was his wake-up call to say, man, okay. And so he changed and inverted his dance to what it is today.
Yes.
Wow.
Awesome dancer too. Yes,
you have to be open to that though.
Yes.
Like you said, so many people take it personal.
Have an open mind, Tika. You have to.
Yes.
Because if you're closed-minded, if you're angry, if you're saying, well, I'm from the West Coast and we don't get a chance to get over here. Hell, y'all got Tony Dow, Brian Patterson,
Yeah.
Y'all got Tiamba Jelani.
Yeah.
Y'all got Angie Faye. I don't want to hear it.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's been said. I'm going to be honest. We've had some of our West Coast
I don't
viewers.
want to hear it, Tika.
Oh.
I don't want to hear it. I ain't trying to hear that. Y'all got too many people over there to lay claim to give you this dance for it fundamentally strengthened the edification of this dance, the improvement of this dance. I ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. We have some we got a little heat here in Atlanta too when it comes to instructors. And I think kind of piggybacking off a little bit of the statement that you made last week. You have a lot of people here that's learning to dance, but they won't go to the cream of the crop to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned the names over on the West Coast. They won't go to those people. They'll go to maybe the more commercialized class.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to make this very politically correct.
Right, and how is that working out for them?
It is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Why?
Buffoonery at its best.
Ooh.
Say that again.
I'm going to say it again. Buffoonery at its best. See, I'm going to call it what it is, despite me not being in a classroom setting. The masses now, despite me being a minority, I can name so many names that are not in anybody's context that you would say, damn, I didn't even know that they existed. I didn't know that they could do that, those type of things. Yet, they're not in the contest. So you looking at the contest, the world's largest steppers contest, 2016, 2015, 2013, you looking at all the footage that you can, gather up from YouTube and say, this is what stepping is. And I beg to differ.
But why?
Now you may go ahead, Tika.
Why some of these?
I get passionate.
A lot of these people they don't come out. You don't even see them. I've heard some names that live here in Atlanta, and I didn't even know they lived here. They don't come out. They don't teach. They don't give private. How are we supposed to, the ones that are really trying to seek out this dance? I've connected with some folks, so I'm okay. But how about the folks that haven't connected and they know it's something else out there, but they don't know where to go, or they're not connected to the right people? What do you say to those folks?
Number one, you must always have to have a certain sense of humility first before the arrogance begins. The arrogance will come later. The chip on your shoulder will come later. You have to first have a certain sense of wanting this dance from its purest form. That's number one. Whether you're in Memphis, Tennessee, or Seattle, Washington, or hell, Omaha, Nebraska, you can get this dance. You can get this dance if you want it bad enough. Just like you invest in a car, a house, school, you can invest time and money. It don't take a lot, but it's all in your heart and how much you want it. My wife, before she was my wife, told me that she was willing to go to Chicago once a month.
Not once a month.
Once a month. I said it right. Once a month. Back when we first got together to get with Shardy Simmons. She was willing to do that. She was willing to invest the time to get the resources to spend that money to get that dance. That's what she was willing to do. Now, I'm not saying to everybody, look, it's going to cost you $6,000, $7,000 before you get this dance. But I still say, just like Muslims need to go to Mecca, and it's an obligation. I really think there's an obligation to just slide through Chicago 1 or 2 times when ain't nothing going on. No white party, no contest. Just go a weekend when ain't nothing going on. Go to some of these sets.
What's funny, you said something earlier, because I met a guy when I was in Chicago 3-4 years ago, a guy named Ken, and he's actually one of the judges at the World's Largest. And as I was talking to him, this guy's a heck of a dancer. He said, man, I would never compete in that. He said, because he said, I'm not political. He said, so I refrain from it as a competitor because of all of the politics that go along with it. But but the guy was a heck of a. I mean, he definitely had the dance down. And I was like, wow, I had never seen this. And so it was so amazing. In Chicago, I've run into so many men and women that, they are well known there, but nobody knows them beyond there.
Let me tell you something about the Chi, my beloved city.
Go ahead, man.
All right. Since 1833, the inception of Chicago by John Baptiste Point Sabo, a West Indian, okay, there has been corruption in Chicago. So when you say politics, absolutely, you know how it goes, Ken. I know how it goes.
Yes.
We know that you may have the talent and the skill set, the chemistry, and all, and still may not even place. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's just the name of the game.
Yeah. Well, do you think that's fair?
I have no.
Fair, unfair. It may not be fair. Life ain't fair, bro. Life ain't fair. It is what it is.
Right.
Get them on the next go round. If you're a true competitor, you may wallow in it for a week, a month, and then you go back to the drawing board.
And get back up there next year.
The next year, yeah.
Right.
Dust yourself off and keep on moving.
If you had one piece of advice, being a judge, if you had one piece of advice to give a contestant, what would it be that you see every year? You going,
That's easy.
What?
That's easy. The advice that I would give to any contestant that wants to compete in Chicago on the world's largest stepper stage, you have to first respect the stage. Respect those people that have gone before you. Maybe look at footage not from the new millennium or after the Step in the Name of Love video came out, but start to go back as far as YouTube will take you, which is probably 93, 94. And when you compare the delineation of 93 and 2016, if you look at both the eras, somebody may say, well, that era is come and gone. It's a new and improved stepping and all that. For me, my advice would be all this helicopter ride, all the antics and animation and shenanigans that's going on the stage today, all it could do is fizzle out and die because of the entertainment side. The art side is being taken for granted as if it will always be there. So we can put all our eggs in one basket as it pertains to the entertainment, and it's all about the glamour and glitz and the crowd roaring and power moves. Shit. If you can dance, to me, that's what you're being judged on. Not the skits and the choreographed antics of so-called stepping. That ain't it. So look at Kevin Dockery. Cold in the motherfucker. Excuse my French. He cold.
Yeah.
He's on.
And he's listening.
He's dancing. That's my man. He dancing. Look, when I see, hey, I got to give him a high five. Mad love, because he's keeping it where it should be.
Yeah, he's definitely a dancer. That boy
What?
I be looking at him like
That boy is dancing.
Yeah, Kevin.
I be like, Kevin, do you have ice on the bottom of your shoes?
Obviously you do.
That boy is there, and that's just one of many.
Right.
Kevin ain't the only one.
Right.
And I love Kevin, but he ain't the only one dancing.
Now, do you use powder on your shoes when you're dancing?
At all. I don't want no powder fucking up my dance.
Oh no! Oh Lord,
Hey,
Wait a minute.
Hold on. We trying to stay on. Hey, we trying to stay on Facebook Live, man. Don't put us on.
I get past it.
No.
There's no powder next to me now. I got that powder. I got to wipe that stuff all the cuffs of my pants, and I got it all on the sides of my shoes. What? And then you going even further. You putting cornstarch, shuffleboard. What? Who gonna pay when I slip and fall and break my, you know what?
Oh my God.
Who gonna pay for that? Lift your feet up.
Oh my God. Oh Lord, listen. Pick your feet up. Did y'all?
You know, one thing the Tall Rick, you know, was actually Ronnie B was my instructor who took me up, you know, after my beginning part of the dance, and he said, man, let me tell you something. Any shoes you buy, if you can't find them with leather, you go get leather put on your shoes. He said, because leather works on any floor.
Any
and it's definitely and you're right, and you know it holds to be true. So now I try to find the shoes the leather already on it, but if not, I take them and get leather put on, because that was some good information that to this day you don't work as hard with that leather either.
That's right, you don't.
Now, do you alter your shoes?
I don't, because I buy leather sole shoes. I don't play. If they not leather sole, what's the purpose of me wearing them to step? Because I know it's gonna be a hard night, unless, because I'm also about dressing, unless that shoe is just tight to death with that fit, that outfit. Then I'm gonna go ahead and say, okay, I got work to do tonight. But don't put no powder. Now you got all on my socks.
Oh my God.
Come on. Am I preaching to the choir?
Yes, you are. Cause baby, they have powder in all four corners.
Boy.
Yes. Now let me ask you a question.
Break my butt.
Now let me ask you a question. If you know the answer to this, now I know the women have a hard time trying to find shoes with leather on them. You have any recommendations or places where they can, you know, possibly find that?
No, I do not. You know, I say instead of going online, perhaps just go to the store, go to Nordstrom, go to Macy's, go to wherever you go, and make sure that they got another bottle.
Yeah, because most of the places I go with my girl all the time, most of the lady shoes have rubber. It's just really, the heels, it's really hard to find them, because she was like, look at me like, well, I can't find no leather bottoms. I said, well, I don't know what to do.
Only other way, other solution is take them to the shoe store and just get leather bottoms put on. I guess it can get expensive,
right.
but
you can do that.
Yeah,
that's always the last alternative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know
now this is good stuff right here.
Y'all give me some hearts if y'all have enjoyed
good stuff
with
right
Tall
here.
Rick.
Yes.
I am sitting here like I could talk to you forever, and I hope you will open yourself up to talk to us again.
No problem. I don't have a problem as long as you willing to take the truth, because I'm gonna tell it in the raw, no filter.
Oh no.
I mean, this is what this show is for. I mean, we've had all kind of stuff said, whether it was right or wrong. Folks have said it, and that was the way they felt, and that was their opinion of it. And so we love that. So thank you guys for the hearts and the love.
And that's what the authenticity about the show is. You know, we don't try to filter out what people should or shouldn't know. I don't think we said, you know, like, don't just put on Facebook. But beyond that, you know, it's like we don't know what the answers are going to be. Because that's what it's about. People can come here and they can be themselves and be real.
And that's what people love about the show. People stop us and say, you know what? I learned so much just watching the show from the people that you have on the show.
Yes.
It's just been incredible. But I do have one more question for you before we close for today.
All right.
If there was going to be a movie made about Tall Rick, what would the title be?
Wow. There was a movie. Because, see, I got so many movies swirling in my head, and I like, you know, the classics with Humphrey Bogart, like Casablanca.
Okay.
Wow. Right now, the way I'm feeling right now, Jaws.
No!
I'm just going to keep it with the way I'm feeling right now, Jaws.
You know what? You know what, Rick? Really? Why you feeling like
all the movies I got swirling in my head, that's the first thing that came to my head, because that's where I'm at right now.
You know what? Now, everybody else, we asked that question. Drew said the Phenom, and it was something else. So he had a subtitle with his. I forgot what Drake said. Drake said
I forgot
what Drake said.
I forgot what he said.
And Tall Rick comes up with Jaws.
I bet you won't forget what
I bet you I won't forget, and they won't either. I'm going to go out the sets and I'm going to say, I have a trivial question. What is the name of Tall Rick's movie? And everybody going to say Jaws. That is hilarious. Well, I thank you so much for sitting down with us. This has been
eye-opening. Yes.
Oh my God, I can't even. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, y'all.
Knowledge, eye-opening, a lot of knowledge.
A lot of knowledge,
Yes.
and thank you so much for sharing that with
Yes.
us. We totally appreciate it. Our listeners and viewers, go ahead.
Thank you guys for giving me the soundboard to be able to express my opinion in the way that hopefully is not offensive to anyone, but it is truly the truth, because there's truth and power. Power and truth.
Yes, yes.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Yes.
You know what? It's time for us to go.
Yes.
And it's 1:15. I know some of y'all men got some honey-do lists to do. So y'all not gonna. Rick, you got a honey-do list today?
Always. Yeah.
See, you already behind. So let's do some work, guys. We love you. Don't forget, we have for the local folks, we have First Saturday at Miss Mary's at Harlem Nights.
We got Myron R and Samsonite in town today.
That starts at 4.
That starts at 4. But right before, they got the trio workshop with Desmond.
That should be nice.
At 3 o'clock, right before the workshop, right before the event starts.
Well, you know what, Rick? You can go if you want. You can stay. It don't matter with me. But I do have. You can stay, honey. You know, I ain't gonna rush you, honey, because you ain't gonna tell me off, Jaws. Listen. We do have one flyer that we forgot to put on. I didn't get it till last night, but Hot Atlanta P-Funk Steppers are having a 6th anniversary presented by Tony and Girl.
Luisa.
Huh. All right, November 12, 2016. Tickets are $15 per person, 2 for $25. For more information, you can contact.
You know, I tell you, man, the people don't understand. Y'all give us they give us flyer with a little small writing on it. Get a 5x7 flyer, so you know they do it to the DJs too. Get a 5x7, make that writing bigger. That's
look, y'all know Tony P Funk now. Hit him up on Facebook. What's the name on Facebook?
Tony P Funk.
Hit him up on Facebook for some information. I literally cannot read it, so I'm so sorry. But here's the flyer. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking to you with Tika and
co-host Will.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Y'all take care.
Bye. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks.
No problem.
Love you. We'll be talking.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
All right, man.
Woo, that was